What's good, everybody? It's your boy Young, and we are back, man. We back. I gotta start the year off right, man. NBA free agency. You dig? Hey, man. It's crazy out here, man. Rudy Gobert just got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't have the words.
Nigga, I am perplexed. What happened? Oh my God, wow.
I don't have the words, y'all. I don't have the words. The Timberwolves just sent Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Jared Vanderbilt, some young nigga, Walker Kessler out of Auburn, who just got drafted, and 4 first-round picks. 4. 3 of them are unprotected in 2023, 25, and 27. Bruh. And the Jazz just got another pick. They just got another pick from the Nets by getting rid of Royce O'Neal. I just don't understand what's going on, bro. Like, Rudy Gobert is 30 years old now. You know what I'm saying? 3-time All-Star, you know. 6-time All Defensive. 4-time All NBA. You know. $205 million contract. Karl Anthony Towns got $224. I don't really know what Minnesota is doing, because it's like, first of all, these are my questions, right? Whenever I do these little videos about trades, I always go into the pros and I always go into the cons first. So I'm going to go into the pros. The pros of this trade is that Karl Anthony Towns can finally play his natural position, which I believe is a power forward. I've said this in like friend conversations or whatnot. I think that Karl Anthony Towns has always been a power forward. He's shown skills to be a power forward. He's not a rim protector. He's not a back to the basket center. He likes to score. And this works out. This allows him to just go out there and get buckets. He don't got to worry about nothing else. He can just go get buckets. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cat averaged 30 next year. I'm going to be honest with you. His shot is now consistently falling. Like, he's always had a good 3-point shot. But this year, he took it up to another level. He already bakes 4s and 5s as it is. Now he don't got to worry about nothing else but just going out there and get buckets. I think that just works. One of their biggest issues was the fact that they don't have a rim protector. And so with them getting Rudy Gobert, they have one of the best rim protectors. So that's another plus. It also allows people like D'Angelo Russell to stay on the floor, because if D'Lo get baked and they get by D'Lo and go to the rim, you know, if you go back and look at that Grizzlies series, a lot of Ja's buckets came from him baking D'Lo or baking whoever was in front of him and just going straight to the bucket, and Cat couldn't do nothing with him. Nothing at all. So now you're telling me that if they match up again, which they probably will, you're going to have somebody getting by D'Lo, turning a corner, and then it's like Rudy is right there. So it looks very good on paper. That starting lineup, I don't necessarily know what that starting lineup is going to look like. They got to figure that out. But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't know how they fill those holes. I don't know how they fill those holes. They still got Taurean Prince. They still got Josh Okogie on that team. They still got Naz Reid. So they still got guys that, you know, are pretty good. They just drafted Ty Washington, so he's gonna have to step up. So I think it's gonna be okay for them. This trade might have sent them into the top 5 of the West. So, that's the pros. Now, maybe if I'm missing another pro, somebody let me know. But we'll go from there. Talk about the pros on the Jazz side. I talked about the pros on the Timberwolves side. The pros on the Jazz side is now you have a clear-cut decision as to who the team is being built around. It's being built around Donovan Mitchell. But I think the biggest question is, how do you build a team around Donovan Mitchell? Well, first of all, you have to have another guard on the floor that can create and facilitate. And I think that's what they did when they went out and got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Nickeil is young, but he shows some point guard skills, and he can score and get his own bucket. Now, I used to say this jokingly when it came to Donovan Mitchell, but I feel like Donovan Mitchell can play point guard. Like, he's shown in clutch situations that he can facilitate. He can set people up. He can make other people better. And, maybe they can figure something out down the line. I do like the fact that they do get an upgrade at the defensive position on the 4. I don't know what I just said. They do get an upgrade when it comes to defense at the 4 position. By getting Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is an underrated move. And I don't think people talk enough about how great Vanderbilt was. I wanted the Bulls to trade for him at the beginning of the season. There's a lot of things that when I be looking at certain players, I'd be like, damn, I wish they were on the Bulls, and then they just don't happen, and they end up turning up. But yeah, it'll be a great move for them to have Vanderbilt as their starting power forward. Now, whoever they have at their center, which is probably going to be Wes. I don't know if it's going to be Wes. It might just be Hassan Whiteside. So I don't know. But I think this clears out a way for them to get better in the future. If they don't want to build young, they have all these draft picks now. You can package all these draft picks. I'm going to be honest with you. I was thinking about a bigger picture. What if they moved him, Rudy Gobert, to get those picks and then use those picks to go get KD? Now, do I think KD will want to play in Salt Lake City? Hell no. And that'll probably never happen. But they have enough picks to where they could lure somebody to play with Donovan Mitchell. Like, you could go out and get somebody like Damian Lillard or something like that. I mean, Damian is used to Portland, Oregon, so I wouldn't say that Salt Lake City, Utah is too far off, but you never know. But I think it does put them in a position to get better. They still got Jordan Clarkson on the team. They still got Bogdanovich on the team. He was great. So they still got some pieces, and they really got a better bench, to be honest. Like, you still got Malik Beasley. But now you got Patrick Beverly coming off the bench. They always struggle with having a backup point guard, so you fill that position. You got Patrick Beverly, like, you got Malik Beasley along with Jordan Clarkson. Like, you got some pieces back. Like, you really did get some pieces back to help Don out. And then we don't know what these young guys can do. You know what I'm saying? I really like Walker Kessler. I thought I keep saying that because I really be thinking like, in the draft, I wasn't thinking, but that'll be another topic for another day as far as the Bulls. But I thought that, when all the other big men was off the table, we was going to get Kessler, because Kessler is a legit 7-footer, but he moves like he's smaller than what he is, pause, and he blocks shots. Like, he's a way more mobile version of Rudy Gobert. And I'm not saying to the level of, blocking shots and all that, but I'm saying, like, in college, he basically played a Rudy Gobert role, but he was way more mobile. Like, I was watching a couple of his highlights before the draft, and he runs the floor. Like, he will run the floor, chase down, block, everything. But, I just like this move for the Jazz, too. You know what I'm saying? They still got Rudy Gay. They still got Vanderbilt. So I can see them running a small ball lineup with Vanderbilt and Rudy Gay. That's something that they always struggle with in the past. They let Pascal go, so it opens up their cap room to go sign somebody else. So you never know. Like, I'm going to be honest. You never know. But I like the moves on both sides on that part. Now, as far as the cons is concerned, I think I'm gonna just talk about the Jazz first, because I think the majority of the cons kind of fall on the Jazz versus the Timberwolves. And one of the biggest cons is you do lose your rim protector. Part of the reason why the Jazz were top of the West for so many years, or in that top 5 conversation, is because of Rudy Gobert. Like, as much as I rag on Rudy Gobert is a regular season ass player where he does his job and he does it well in the regular season and it gets them wins and they're able to be top seeds in the East or in their conference. But do I think it'll work out in the playoffs? No. And it's been shown time and time again that Rudy Gobert is not a playoff performer. He gets played off of the court when he's playing against a stretch 5 or a small ball 5. He can't guard pick and rolls. He can't play drop defense. Drop coverage when they playing against a guard that can shoot a mid-range jumper. Like, if he gets switched onto a guard, he got Bambi legs because he's getting baked. Like, these are all facts. It's not me ragging on Rudy Gobert. So anybody that knows me knows that I'm always critical when it comes to DPOYs and what they bring to the table. Granted, he was supposed to get his first DPOY. The last 2, I definitely don't think he was supposed to get it. I think Giannis is supposed to have 2. I think the reason why Giannis didn't get it is because of voter fatigue. I feel like if Ben Simmons and Joel didn't get hurt that one year, one of them would have had a DPOY. Probably it would have been Ben Simmons if he had never got hurt. But that's just my opinion. I think Bam should have got one. I think Jaren should have definitely got one. So it's up in the air. But as far as the Jazz is concerned, I don't think they have enough pieces to be competitive because of the fact that they lack a center or they lack a second star next to Donovan. Now, they've unloaded a lot of cap room. They could potentially go after DeAndre Ayton, I think, if they want to make another trade. I don't necessarily know if they can, take those same players that they trade and put them in a deal or whatever. But if they could figure out a way of getting DeAndre Ayton, I like that move. But other than that, they got to get a second piece around Donovan Mitchell in order for them to be competitive, or Don is just going to kind of be sitting out in a limbo of mediocre 8th seed, 9th seed, basically where the Timberwolves was. And like this year, the West has gotten better. Like, I'm just being honest. The West has definitely gotten better. So for Donovan, I don't necessarily know how that's going to look in the regular season because he doesn't have a clear number 2. If you want to be competitive in the offseason, in the playoffs, having Bogdanovich as your second best player or Jordan Clarkson as your second best player is not going to win you playoff games. I'm sorry. Michael Conley is ass. I'm not calling him Mike Conley. That nigga name is Michael. Michael Conley is ass. He is washed up. He is past his prime. He needs to retire. Like, they don't have a point guard. I will see a lot of, and I think we will see a lot of Patrick Beverly playing that starting point guard position, which is fine. I think he's capable of doing that. But I just don't think that the Jazz have enough pieces to be competitive anymore until they get a second option. And, free agency is still going. We still got the trade deadline. We got a lot of opportunities to do what we got to do. But I just think for the Jazz, if they really wanted to make the right move, I think the Jazz should have made that move during free agency. Not during free agency, but during the draft. I would have sent him to the Magic and got pieces, or sent him to OKC and got draft picks. Like, there were other places he could have went, and you could have easily, gotten, I guess, a better product. I would have traded him to the Suns. Like, I feel like it was a better option than to trade him to the Timberwolves, but the GM probably, I don't know. I just don't know what was on the table when they were initially making that draft. Making that trade, because it's just like, bro, you traded damn near 6 draft picks and 3 players to get him. And Kevin Durant just asked for a trade. So if Rudy Gobert can command 6 draft picks and 3 players, you're going to basically trade half a team for Kevin Durant. I think another reason why they made that trade is because Donovan is getting fed up. But, I think Donovan might be in one of them Damian Lillard situations. But these new era of NBA stars, man, they not going to take it. If you ain't building shit around them, they going to leave. And I appreciate that, because KG was one of my favorite players growing up, and KG, I watched KG put that damn Timberwolves team on his back, and for years they didn't put no talent around that man, and then when they did, people got hurt. Like it was just a bad situation altogether. Same difference with Bron. Like Bron was great. Like there's no reason why Bron shouldn't have at least 6 to 7 rings, but it's just like the Cavs have always been cheap. The Cavs have never really tried to contend for big market players when you had arguably the greatest player to ever touch the basketball on your floor in your franchise, and you did absolutely nothing but put mediocrity around him for years, up until where the new age of NBA player to where they demand what they want came around. Shout out to Bron, he started that shit, but I don't know, man. I don't know. So I think that the Jazz also makes that move just in case Donovan leaves in free agency. They still have a whole bunch of picks just to be competitive. And you never know. I think Don might leave as well. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I feel like this year will determine what happens to Don. If they're not competitive, like whatsoever, and if they don't make a move at the trade deadline to be even more competitive, like to be able to get a playoff spot, I think Don asks for a trade that next summer. Timberwolves are in a completely different situation. I think one of the biggest cons is not necessarily fit, but cap. My boy Cat just signed his extension. You got Cat making damn near, I think, $250. You got your boy making $205, Rudy Gobert. You still got D'Lo on a contract. Eventually, Anthony Edwards is gonna need to get paid, and we all know, based on his skill and his talent, Anthony Edwards is gonna make some All NBA teams. Anthony Edwards is gonna be an All-Star a couple of more times. Like, it's guaranteed that that's gonna happen. He's just a natural star, and even if he doesn't play like an All-Star, I feel like the fans bang with him so much that he can make an All-Star just off of the personality that he is. Like a Alex Caruso, how like Alex Caruso is, like when he was playing with the Lakers, he's like a fan favorite. He's like that Boban fan favorite, but the only difference is like he really can hoop. So I don't know how that works as far as cap room is concerned, because somebody's not getting paid. I don't think they'll be able to keep that core of D'Lo and all of them together. Now, the Timberwolves are a small market team, so it's only so many moves that they can make in free agency, and that's always been something that's been linked to the Timberwolves forever. Even back, like I said, with KG, they've never really spent the bread. The last time I remember them spending bread like that was when they offered KG his first like Supermax contract, and that was one of the biggest contracts in NBA history. But I don't see the Timberwolves really dipping their checkbooks to make a better team around Ant. And Ant is the type where I feel like Ant is going to be like, look, y'all motherfuckers better build a team around me or my ass is gone. And I could see Ant getting up out of there. Like, don't even try to give me that qualifying offer. Get me the fuck up out of here. Like, I could see him forcing his way out. And unfortunately, I feel like with this whole Ben Simmons situation, I feel like the CBA, once the new CBA is up, I think what they're going to start doing with these rookie contracts is they're going to make them all guaranteed, like non-guaranteed contracts, to where y'all have to play a certain amount of games. Y'all have to be there a certain amount of years in order to get your qualifying offer. I don't know, bro. I just feel like this new age of NBA talent, they're going to start just, all right, yeah, I don't really like it. I got drafted to what? Oh, okay, yeah, no, y'all ass. I'm going to only play here 2 years. No, I ain't getting no people. Yeah, I'm gone. And these are going to be first, second, third, number one overall picks. Like, yeah, I don't want to be here no more. So I don't see the Timberwolves becoming like a free agent destination in the future. Now, granted, they have a captivating player like Ant Edwards. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, Ja Morant has completely changed the landscape of what the Grizzlies look like. Back in them grit and grind days with Zach, with Zebo and Marc Gasol and Tony Allen and all of them, I don't think that the Grizzlies were ever mentioned as a free agent destination. But like, Ja Morant made Memphis lit. So it's like, if I'm a young nigga and I'm growing up wanting to play in the league, I want to go play for Memphis. Like, I want to go be around that. Y'all look lit. So maybe Ant can get that same type of swag to Minnesota, and maybe it can help itself out. But I don't know. The other biggest con is how is this gonna work when it comes to small ball lineups? I love Cat to death, but Cat doesn't do well against small ball lineups. We just gotta call a spade a spade. Just like we call Rudy Gobert some shit when he get baked by guards and stuff like that. Like, Cat gets baked by guards too. The only difference is we don't really pay attention to Cat because Cat ain't got Defensive Player of the Years awards. Cat don't got first team all defense selections. Like, Cat don't have all those things, so we're like, oh, Cat got baked by Jordan Clarkson. I mean, not Jordan Clarkson, he's on his team. Cat got baked by I don't know, some guard out there. And we not gonna like, oh my God, he got baked. Like, we don't care because it's Cat. So I don't necessarily know how that's gonna work now. I think that hurts them even more when people play small ball. I think primarily that is the reason why they lost to the Grizzlies, is because when they put Jaren in that small ball situation, because Jaren got a strap, they couldn't guard that. Like, you couldn't guard that. And so I just think about, like, for instance, if they played a team like the Bucks, for example, they could match up very well with the Bucks team because, regardless if he get baked, he got to go up against Rudy. Giannis go up against Rudy if he bake Cat, because Rudy gonna be right there. So it works itself out. But if they go up against a team like the Heat, right, and the Heat got somebody at the power forward that can stretch the floor, and you already got Bam who can stretch, you're getting baked, bro. They play the Mavericks. You already got Dorian Finney-Smith, who's shown that he can shoot the three, right? You got Bullock, who's like reinventing his career this last playoff series. So you got him at the 3. You got Bullock at the 3. You got Dorian Finney-Smith at the 4. You probably gonna get Tim Hardaway Jr. back, right? Then you got Luke at the 1, and you got Christian Wood at the 5. They're gonna 5 out you to death. What are you gonna do when you go up against the Mavericks? And you're probably gonna match up with the Mavericks in the playoffs. So what are you gonna do? I think the Timberwolves lucked up with the fact that they were able to keep Naz Reid. I think that's going really under the radar because Naz Reid had one of his best years last year. Could have been 6th man of the year, to be honest with you, but he could have been in there running for 6th man of the year. He played very well last year. So, like I said, I don't think the Timberwolves have that many cons. I just think they got to figure out how this bench is going to work, how this cap is going to work in the future, and then overall, what's that going to look like in the playoffs when somebody runs that small ball. But that's all I got for real. So, yeah, that's all I really got about this whole trade. Like I said, man, please make sure y'all go subscribe to the YouTube page, man. I'm going to be dropping video after video after video after video. This free agency. It's 4th of July weekend, so I got some time to kind of catch up on some stuff. Yeah, man, and if y'all got any team y'all want me to talk about, because I want to do some gradings of some free agency and draft selections for teams. So if y'all want me to do that, please make sure y'all comment below. And yeah, man, I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Peace and love.